Just 4 years ago, I was a completely average 19-year-old college student with a few $100s to my name. And now I'm making multi six figures per year using a specific combination of three skills that nobody ever told me about. I didn't start a dropshipping store. I didn't invest in crypto. I didn't do affiliate marketing. And I definitely didn't have rich parents. What I discovered instead is a skill stack so powerful that it allowed me to drop out of college, move into my dream apartment, never have to worry about money ever again. And the craziest part of all is I really only work 25 to 30 hours per week. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the three skill combination that changed everything for me. And it's also the same combination that my students are using to hit 10K months. This isn't like some get rich quick bullshit. This is the real formula that nobody talks about. Now, massive disclaimer before we get into this training. This video will not contain a bunch of flashy edits or jump cuts. So if your TikTok brain cannot handle watching a more boring training that actually gives you the sauce, you probably physically cannot make 10K per month right now. And you should probably go hit the gym or build some more mental fortitude doing something else, and then maybe come back to this video in a couple months. But if you're ready to go, before we talk about the skill stack, we need to talk about what money even is, because most people just skip over this and they remain stuck jumping from business model to business model for the next 3 years. Well, money, all it really is it's stored value. You see, you have a person here that has a problem, and then you have a person here that has a solution. This person is hungry, they have a problem. This person has food, they have a solution. And so this person trades their value, their stored value, which is their food, and this person trades their stored value, which is their money. So if you're wanting to make more money right now, you need to create more value in the marketplace. You need to solve problems that are causing people pain in their lives, because when a solution gets created and a problem gets solved, then pain is alleviated and value is created. You see, it's the same thing with what I'm about to share with you in this video. You have a business owner that has lots of money, but they don't have that much time. And you're trying to make money online right now. You have time to learn how to make money online and to put into actually doing the work. So you're going to trade your time in exchange for money. And it's the same exact thing as well, just to give you another example with what I'm doing right now on this YouTube channel. You see, just like me, there's a bunch of other people that are looking into making money online. They're broke. They want to make money online, just like me a couple of years ago. Now I figured it out. So now I'm creating content on social media telling you guys to learn high income skill sets. And as a byproduct, we have students making money online. So the amount of money that you make is directly correlated to the amount of value you provide to the marketplace. Meaning, if you don't provide that much value to the marketplace, if you don't actually solve any pain or problems in the market, you're not going to make that much money. But if you solve a lot of problems and a lot of pain in the market, you're going to make a lot of money. And this is how the world works. All value really is it's solving problems that cause pain in people's lives. So to make money online, you need to either solve problems for other people or other businesses online. And the only possible way to solve problems for people or businesses is by having high income skill sets. And this is why this works so well. So now that we understand how money is generated, let's take a look at the first skill in the 25K per month skill stack. And the first skill is appointment setting. You see, for the first skill, we must find something that we can actually get paid with, but it can also be learned very quickly. You see, I don't want you guys spending months, if not years, learning a bunch of skills that you make $0 with as you're learning them, like you do in college. I don't know about you guys, but I hate the education system that you have to spend all of this time and all this money learning all this stuff, and you never really get a chance to apply it until the very end, and then you can maybe start making a little bit of money. With something like this, I want you to learn something in less than a week so that you can go and put it into work. How does it work? Well, as an appointment setter, you become a part of an existing online business in the high ticket space that is already semi-successful. They're already making 20K per month or maybe even more than that. As an appointment setter, you will go in and work for their business. You are going to manage their DM inbox to book sales calls and appointments. You're literally just going to send messages to people that are already interested in their product, and you are going to book sales appointments. And you will receive a commission on each new sale that ends up buying on a booked appointment that you book. So if you book an appointment and that person ends up getting on that appointment with someone else and they end up persuading them to buy, then you get paid. You'd be helping sell $2,000 to $10,000 products and services for business owners, and most setters get paid about 5 to 10% of every new sale that is brought in through their set. So if you set an appointment, that appointment shows up, that appointment buys, depending on the price of the product that you're working in, you would be getting paid 5 to 10% of that. And so to make 5K per month, just to give you some numbers and kind of show you what it looks like, you need to help bring in 10 sales on a $5,000 offer and receive a 10% commission. This is 5K per month. And just to kind of give you more examples with some of the students that I'm working with, this is Asher here. First week of December, $7,500 cash collected, $13,500 in revenue, meaning if he's getting paid 10% of that, that's about $1,350 in total sales for that week for him, and like $750 paid directly to his bank account. For David, first week of December, cash collected, $13,150, cash contracted, $18,200. Imagine getting paid 10% of that. That's $1,300 every week, but then the contracted money will come in at a later date. That's kind of what that means there. Jared here, $4,800 paid in full. He's getting 10% on the offer that he's working with. It's a fitness coaching program. So he gets paid $480 for every sale that he brings to that offer. And as you can see, he had one on the 24th, which was a couple days ago. And then he had another one 2 days later. Joshua as well, selling a $4,000 product, getting paid 8% of that. And he gets paid $400 or $440 in Canadian. So anyone who can speak moderately well, wants to grow and acquire skills, and has a phone or a laptop, or both ideally, can crush it with appointment setting. And after doing this for a few months, you can hit 5 to 10K per month, giving you the capability to focus on it full time. And this is what changed everything for me, because I started seeing a little bit of success with making money online. And then it allowed me to have the confidence to drop out of college and go all in. And when I went all in, I made more money, obviously, because you only have so much time and energy throughout the day. So this skill is the most in-demand skill in the world, and it gives you the freedom to set your own hours and work from wherever you want in the world. But we don't just stop here. Making your first 5 to 10K per month online is great. It's an incredible feeling, but you must not stop here. You must continue to advance yourself and go further and further and build even more high income skill sets and become even more valuable. Because if you don't, it's just a matter of time before you get replaced by AI or other people that are ambitious coming up in the game. And so once you get to this level, you have to focus on building the next skill here, which is remote closing. Now, this is similar to appointment setting. It's just a little bit more advanced. Now, again, similar to appointment setting, you become a part of an existing online business in the high ticket space, but this time they're far more successful. They're usually making over $50,000 per month if they're going to hire a closer. And as a closer, you will be the guy that takes the sales appointments that have been booked. So the setter books the appointments. Now the closer actually takes those appointments that have been booked and sells the actual product. And you will receive a commission on each new sale that you close. You'd be helping sell $2,000 to $10,000 products and services for business owners. And most setters get paid actually, this should say closers, my bad. Most closers get paid 10 to 15% of every new sale that you make. So to make 10K per month as a closer, you'd need to bring in 13 sales on a $5,000 offer and receive 15% commission. And if you're like, whoa, Trevor, closing, sales, all this stuff, it sounds kind of difficult. Honestly, it is. It is pretty difficult, but it's something that you can do. There are lots of difficult things you've done in your life that you've overcame. And here's an example. If you think you might not be able to do it, here is me taking a $4,000 sales call with a client. And at this time in my life, I was socially awkward. I literally looked like a baby. I still kind of do. I still got the baby face, goofy ass haircut. I hadn't had a haircut in probably like 3 months. Bed in my background. I was in my mom's basement. You can literally see the tiling from the ceiling of living in the basement. And I was doing this shit every single day. And so if I was able to do it with all of these limitations, there's no reason why you can't. It's going to be difficult, but it's 100% doable. And if you are serious and you actually want the things that you claim you want, where you want to make money online, you want to be free, all this stuff, you'll get over any limitations that you might have as well. And here's another example of one of my students, Mike, who is closing on 2 trading offers at the moment. And did $4,800 or $48,000 cash collected with those 2 offers, getting paid 10%, equaling out to 4.8K in straight commissions, 70K in revenue. So not all of that is paid directly, but if they end up paying, that's an additional 2.2K for that month. So these 2 skills alone can usually get you to like the 8 to 15K per month when you do these either together or different, or you're working on multiple offers, or you're on some really good offers, whatever. You find a way to get to 10K plus per month if you want it bad enough. However, Something that I've learned over the past 2 years can take you even further beyond that point, because I was doing this already 3 years ago. Over the past 3 years, though, I've discovered something that can take you even further to the next level. And if you do skill 1 and 2 really well, you'll literally have a bunch of good relationships. You'll likely have a bunch of good relationships, either with businesses that you're working with or working on now, or that you've worked with in the past. And this allows you, the principle that I'm going to share with you for skill 3, you can use this principle to slowly transition from just doing sales inside of businesses, working in businesses, to slowly transitioning into running your own service-based business where you can entirely control your own destiny. And skill number 3 is identifying and solving constraints for businesses. So skill number 3, to summarize, is basically the ability to look at a business, look at the numbers of the business. What is their close rate? How much are they spending on ads? What percent of their ads are converting into leads? All this stuff, all these different numbers and data points. This skill is being able to look at that and tell within a few minutes or even a few seconds, what is stopping that business from growing? What are the constraints of that business? Now, what this allows you to do is, instead of just solving sales inside of a business, imagine if you were able to help them with multiple of their problems. What do I mean by this? Imagine you have a business that's making $50,000 a month right now, and you are doing closing inside of that business, and you're making like 5K per month, or maybe 10K per month, or maybe somewhere in between, and you're doing pretty good. Imagine, though, that business wants to grow. And the reason they're not growing is not because of your sales. It's actually because of other problems they're facing inside of their business. Imagine if you, instead of just being a closer for the rest of your life, imagine if you learned other additional skill sets, whether it's through YouTube, buying courses, mentorships, AI. Imagine if you were able to learn additional skill sets so that you could go back to that same business you're working in, help them solve the constraint that they're facing, and allow that business to grow. Imagine how valuable that would be. At that point, you'd basically be running the business yourself. You'd be doing sales, and then you'd be helping them with a bunch of other stuff. But imagine how powerful that could be. And then when that business grows from, let's just say, 50K per month to 100K per month as an example, then imagine taking the process that you took to help that business go from 50 to 100K per month. And then imagine rinsing and repeating that process into 5 to 10 businesses every single month, getting paid 10K a pop every time you do it. This is going to allow you, instead of just being a high ticket closer for the rest of your life, to actually start to lay the steps into eventually running your own service-based business where you can make a lot more money. This is exactly what I did, ironically enough. But I'll share with you that in a second. But basically, it all comes down to the idea of the theory of constraints, where the performance of a system is limited by its weakest link. I think I learned this in one of my mechanical engineering classes, and this was like the one thing that I learned in college that actually stuck with me and was valuable. And it's the fact that inside of a business is a system. You have inputs and you have outputs. You have certain actions being done every single day, and it's creating certain results inside of that business. The business's income is limited to the weakest link in the system. So there's a million things going on in a business every single day. You have messaging, paid ads, content, appointment setting, sales, onboarding, delivery, mindset, firing employees, blah, 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 blah. Whatever is the weakest, that is what's causing the business to struggle. And so imagine if you got good enough to the point where you could identify what the weakest part of the business is just by asking a couple questions and getting a couple insights. And then imagine if you were able to solve that inside of the business. Imagine how valuable you would be to the marketplace. You would literally be able to make any amount of money that you want, because businesses struggle to grow every single day. And to kind of summarize, this is the exact journey that I went down. This was me in 2020, attending my first year of college, $200 to my name. This was the college dorm that I was sitting in. As you can see here, I still had glasses. Shit. I hate looking back at these pictures, but it is what it is. And this was me doing okay. This was me taking trips to Mexico with the boys, doing work inside of businesses, doing appointment setting, doing sales, all that fun stuff. And this was me doing quite well, where I spent an entire month in the Canary Islands working multiple scuba diving trips, doing 100K in a quarter, and all that fun stuff. And to kind of summarize the journey for you so that you can fully understand, you want to start off with something super, super easy and accessible to learn. Something like appointment setting that you can learn in less than a week. And then you can go and start actually putting in the work and start to make a little bit of money. Then, over the course of a couple months of doing that, maybe 3 to 6 months of doing appointment setting, if you're on a good offer, maybe you'll have to offer hop a couple times. You'll get to the point usually where you can make 5K plus per month. Then, once you're at that point, you're going to want to learn remote closing, where you can usually get a little bit further off of the mere fact that you're going to be working with more established businesses and you're likely going to get paid a higher percentage as well. This will usually get you a little bit further, closer and closer to that 10K month, or maybe you'll hit the 10K month. Even if you don't hit the 10K per month mark with skill number 2, then with skill number 3, you 100% can. Where the same business you're doing sales in, you're going to figure out the other issues that they're having inside of their business, and you're going to offer to solve them. And this is going to allow you, instead of just getting paid 10 to 15% as you would doing remote closing, you can now potentially ask for a base pay. You can now potentially ask for a higher percentage commission because you're offering more value. Then, when you actually help that business grow, you're able to create a framework or an infrastructure that you use to help that business grow. And then you can go and find 5 to 10 businesses just like that same business and rinse and repeat that process every single month for them. So guys, this is the process that you can follow. Now, there's a couple options you have at this point. You can go out and actually try this. I have tons of videos on my channel that you can go out and try for free. But if at this point you're like, Trevor, I've watched your videos, this resonated a ton, I want help, I have the perfect opportunity for you because I'm opening up a couple spots in April to work one-on-one with a couple students to help you go through this exact same process. I will say those spots are limited, and that's not like some fake scarcity bullshit. Because it's one-on-one coaching and because I do other stuff, I literally can't work with like 100 people at a time. Otherwise I would lose my mind. So I'm really only going to be working with a couple people. And I'm going to help you go through this exact same journey, whether you're just starting off as a complete beginner. It's totally fine. I work with actually mostly beginners. Or if you're somebody that's a little bit more advanced and you're maybe making money as an appointment setter or making a little bit of money here and there, and you're looking to either get on a better offer or start to learn more advanced skill sets that you can go and apply to businesses, I have the perfect solution for you. And it's my one-on-one coaching program. And if you want to apply to that, if you're interested, you can go down to the description below and you can book a time with myself where we can see if it's even a good fit. Maybe based on where you're at right now, I can't even help you. But there's a good chance that based on where you're at, I can definitely help you out. But we'll find that on that call there. But if you're not quite ready for that, check out this video on my channel. It should be able to help you out a ton. And it should cement a lot of the same things that I was sharing with you in this video so that you can further understand everything. But you guys take care and have a great rest of your day.